practicing the imperfect way.
Oh, great. Can I tee it up or do you want to just go?
Yeah,
I
go
don't want
ahead.
to steal your
No, go ahead.
spotlight.
No, go.
But I
No, I
get,
got zero pride in
but
life.
I get,
No, I got zero pride. Guy,
Zero
no, in life, I have zero pride anymore. I'm 53 and a half, and I'm just glad that I can sit at a table with a microphone.
So I love this because I hadn't heard. It's one of those things, you know that it's true, but you're the first person I've ever heard talk about this, and maybe there's someone else who does, I don't know, but
Right.
you're the first person I've heard really start harping on it. Is when you play hockey, things are not perfect. And the first time I heard you talking about it, I still remember, it was a while ago, like years ago, you were talking about how Zach Cassian is really good at picking up bad passes.
Yeah.
That was where it started from, where I started to notice you would teach this. And this guy you could throw a puck at him anywhere, and he just gets it up to his stick and can make a play now. And this is a guy that obviously he plays in the NHL. He's a really good player, but this is a skill where when things are shitty, he can still do something with it and be productive. So one thing that I really notice, particularly with shooting, like being able to catch bad passes and stuff, that's obviously a good skill, but particularly with shooting, if guys don't have the perfect setup, they don't want to shoot it. So and everyone has done this too in practice. Like maybe you're doing a 1T or a shooting drill. Somebody gives you a bad pass. What do? You give it back to them. I didn't like that one. Give me a better one, right? And that's not the game. And that doesn't mean you never practice the perfect situation, because if you're really trying to isolate and work on something specific with your shot, then yes, you need that perfect setup and to get it in that perfect spot and all that. But there should be a component of your practicing that is when things are messy and it's like a game where, you're going in on the 2-on-1 and the guy gives you a pass and you have to really reach to get it, but you can still get to it. What do you do with that puck?
That's right.
So this is something that you're the only person I've ever seen in hockey, like online videos, whatever, where you really harp on this in the game. What's going to actually happen is you're going to get a pass when you're not ready, standing up, off balance, in a weird spot. It's not what you're used to, and you got to be able to do something with it, Yep. So that's an important thing to be able to know, right?
Yep.
So make sure that you're spending at least a component of your time doing this imperfect kind of stuff. So you can elaborate on that from here.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I get closer to the mic here. Take my.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that teaching the game it's all good when it's all perfect, right?
Right.
But that's the number one thing is that you could practice. You sit there, let's say you take your shooting, you practice and practice and practice. It's all good when you're sitting in your basement or you're out in the driveway and you're shooting pucks and it's hitting, and that's all perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You got the puck exactly where you want. And this is good. This is your foundation. This is what I'm talking about. Your foundation is your foundation. But I'll give you an example. Last 2 examples real quick off the top of my mind. Last night, London versus Guelph, Danny Zolkin got a goal on the power play. It was the shittiest way to shoot a puck you could possibly think of.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, you saw the goal. It was a power play, rebound, so he had to get down and he had to like redirect on a really bad angle, but because he has some reps and stuff like that. So that's how passes actually happen in most games. Most games you're not standing in front of the net and the rebound comes perfectly where you can rip a puck. It happens, but it's most likely not going to happen. Another one in the first period first period, grabbed a puck and he was coming out and had some pressure. So he made a cross ice pass. This is just neutral zone stuff here. Made a cross ice pass, and with all that pressure, it was kind of in his line mate's skates, and the line mate couldn't handle it. Should have though. Should have been able to handle it. Should be able to kick that up with either foot. So that's. I mean, should have. A higher percentage should have than he shouldn't have had that. Okay, so this is what I'm saying is that pass was a good pass. In general, it was a bad pass because it wasn't on his tape, but that's how passes come to you in a game. So if you sit there and you never practice taking a pass off your skates, you will never get that pass. So therefore, you cannot play at a higher level. So that's why in the summertime, I will spend 20 minutes, like say on Tuesday, I'm going to do 20 minutes where we're going to do a drill where you're skating and everything is in your feet and you have to kick it up and put it in your feet again. You have to be able to react. Oh, so if you've done that 1,000 times in a game, that's going to happen. So now you can be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
So now when we take that to the shot, many times, most passes aren't good. So you're right. Like if you take The game is mostly imperfect. So if you take a pass while you're skating and you have to reach and you're way out here, do you have to stop that puck, stick handle it, bring it to your sweet spot or all the way around? Well, that takes a second and a half or a
Mhm.
second. You don't have that kind of time. So how about learning how to do a pull-in shot or a two-touch shot from way out? I teach that.
Mhm.
So now a kid gets, if you've been there before, then you know, oh, okay, now I just catch that and I just step in on my inside leg and I'm gonna have a really good shot here.
Mhm.
Or I can pull it in, right? I can
Yep.
take it from far and pull it into my body, into my sweet spot, and it'll happen really fast.
Mhm.
So that's practicing imperfect. It's practicing um, shots off a face off. And it's not necessarily because it's a face off. It's just because it's you have to react, and the goal is to get rid of it quick. Doesn't matter how. So now you're going to take an imperfect shot,
Mhm.
but because you've practiced so many different ways of shooting, that shot, your body's kind of got the neuromuscular facilitation to take that to take that shot, no matter how it lands. Right? Have you ever taken a whole bunch of passes off a knuckleball? Right? Or inside your feet, inside your too far behind. All these different things
Yeah.
are absolutely huge. So you learn how to just get it off
Yeah.
by doing reps that are imperfect and off balance. If you get
Yeah, man.
off balance, if you catch a pass and you're leaning backwards or something like that, can you still shoot a puck? You should.
Yeah.
Should be able to,
But
right?
when the reason that actually matters is because if you can get 3-4 more shots a game,
Oh, that's huge.
because you can take a bad pass and get a shot off quickly,
Yeah.
you might get an extra 5-6 goals in a year
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
And I was so anyways, talking about the face off thing, one of the drills I worked on with the guys last night that I showed you, I just made it up because I was thinking about that part of how you teach and I wanted to apply some of that. So we did a face off drill.
Yeah.
So you had two guys taking the draw in the D zone or O zone, depending which side you're on, a guy behind each of them. And it didn't matter where the puck went off the draw, wherever that puck goes, you had to get it to the guy at the top of the circle. The guy at the top of the circle had to get that shot off as fast as he can.
Yep.
Now, I went in the room after the session just to like shoot the shit a little bit about it, because sometimes the kids still, even at that age, these are U16s, they need to be told like where things are going to apply.
Yep.
So when I'm on them, because I was like in their face about it, about getting it off quick and some of them were just garbage shots, knuckleball, whatever, right? But I was saying to them tonight, so they play a game tonight. They're playing against London, the London Junior Knights, and they're the third ranked team in Ontario. Okay, they got that one kid that's supposed to be a first overall pick, whatever. Really good team. Okay, so they're not going to have the time or the luxury of getting those pucks in perfect positions because these guys are going to be on them, man.
Yeah.
So I told him, I was like, if you guys can just win an extra face-off, that was the one element because you care.
Yeah.
That's an extra possession. If you can just get a shot off quick off a face-off before
knows
that
what
goalie
happens?
gets set, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Who knows if you get one, you get a cheap one, you get a cheeky one because their goalie was sleeping.
Yeah.
And when you're playing a good team like that, you need those breaks. You need to get a break like that sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So I was harping on him about, you guys are good shooters. You guys can get the pucks off hard, especially some of their D. Like some of their D get nice hard shots off. Even if it's not your hardest ever, just the fact that you're off a split second earlier, maybe that's you get an extra 2 goals against a top team in your league because you guys were just getting shots off quick, putting everything at the net whenever you could, But a lot of guys, they wait to get that perfect bar down Austin Matthews snapper where it's just the highlight reel shot. And it's like, that's not the game. The game's imperfect, like you're saying,
That takes a lot of practice.
Yeah. And so that's an application now. Like that's a direct application. So it's like, as the trainer or the coach or whoever, I'm saying, we're doing this drill. There's a lot of components. Like we're doing the face off, we're doing the battle to get the puck and then getting it to the guy quick. But this is where you can feel that it actually would matter in a game. Like you're playing London tomorrow. You're not going to have time to do shit. So when you get an opportunity to get a shot off, get the shot off. Even if it's a trash shot, it doesn't matter. You get it to the net, who knows, right?
Yeah.
And that's how the game actually is, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So
and then my finishing piece would be learning. This is as you're more advanced, is learning to shoot for percentages.
Yeah.
Like
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, a lot of guys, you see it at every level. People want to pick those little corners and stuff, but You know, a lot of times you go that short side corner stuff and then you're back checking. It's like
Yeah.
that's not intelligent, right? So like these are little things is like have your favorite location to shoot. So like when you're in a jam or when you are under pressure, I guess you could say, and you have no other options, like what is your option? What's your go-to shot?
Yeah.
Right? So like I mean, location as far as location goes, I was gonna say location wise.
Yeah.
So that means is it the bottom of the net, top of the net, is it what corner, whatever, right? So go to your favorite shot when in doubt, if you can, so that you know that that's your old reliable. For me, it was blocker side, like about this high off the ice.
Yep.
I could nail that pretty much anytime I wanted to from
Mhm.
almost anywhere. So that was my go to, and
Yeah.
that's whatever. Shooting for shooting a foot off the ice, right? Looking like if you're coming on off the wings and stuff for the part, shooting a foot off the ice for the far pad for rebounds. That's a percentage now. It's not necessary to score goals. You might score, but it's more to set teammates up for going to the net. So that's like an intelligent way of shooting pucks. It's not just shooting at the crest and I got a shot on net because that's not actually intelligent,
Mhm.
right? Shooting just behind the goalie's heel of his stick, really tough for him to get that. So learn that art. His sliding pucks or shooting pucks just past his heel because that's really tough.
Yeah.
You'll just be surprised how many goals you'll score there. And then another thing that you want to work on, I did that with Charlie quite a bit this summer, is we're shooting off of really bad angles. So let's say you're coming out of a corner, no one expects a shot there, and so bad angles for yourself and bad angles according to the ice. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
where you are on the
Yeah.
ice, even if your body's off balance and stuff
Mhm.
like that, learning how to get shots off of weird angles and bad angles to
Yeah.
just to those are just like not trick shots, but it's like when in doubt, get a shot, right? When in
Yeah.
doubt, shoot. But you might as well be intelligent and have some practice with it.
And this is the hockey IQ thing,
Yeah.
because this is an element of it where we got some guys in here like that are playing junior, and I'm thinking of the one guy in particular that who I'm thinking of. It's always like I need to score a
Yeah.
goal here,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna try to go cheese,
Yeah.
even though we're on a power play, and
Yeah.
if I miss, it's
Yeah.
gonna hit the glass and wrap out of the
Yeah.
zone. So this is starting to think hockey now,
Yeah.
where if you're coming in on a 2-on-1 and you have a straight shot or something, and you want to try to pick a corner, like whatever, but there's a certain time to do a certain shot and there's a certain time to not, and being able to think that's where you start to see guys IQ for the game. It's like, okay, I know my chances of scoring off a shot here are low, so instead I'm going to try to go far pad on purpose so that we get a muck in front of the net or something like that. And that's part of that thinking the game properly.
Yeah.
In terms of shooting. So it's important
Yeah.
to be able to do that. So one more question. I
Yeah.
just had a thought. Maybe this is
Sure.
nothing. So once you're in junior, at the junior level now, so guys are starting to work to try to play pro or whatever. Is there anything notable about differences between forwards and defensemen and how they're shooting, or what they should be focused on with their shooting? Is there anything there that is worth mentioning in terms of the shooting, or not really?
Both you want to be you want to get them off quick.
Yeah.
That would be the mentionable thing is you want to be getting them off quick. Like D, it's the tricky part with D is when you get in the puck is not to overhandle it.
Yeah.
And then number two is to get it off quick and find that shooting lane, not hitting shin pads. So it's getting open enough to find a lane to get the puck through, but it has to come off quick.
Yeah.
And forward, same thing. It's as there becomes a certain level, probably junior and up, where goalies are actually really good, and they only get better. That's where your release and deception have to really plays a part.